Hope everyone's doing great today. How about those cell phones, iPhones, smartphones, Blackberries? Are they on the back of your mind? I'm sure they are. Oh no, not another boring speech. I wish I could use my smartphone during this, and most of you probably would if it weren't for the class rules. How many of you taken the time to take a good look around and watch how many people were totally engaged in smartphones? Smartphones are addictive, time-consuming, and killing genuine communication. It is scary. Whether we are walking or driving, people are constantly looking down. And using their smartphones for texting. From texting to tweeting to Facebook, our smartphones are becoming addictive and pretty much control our lives. We walk, talk, and sleep with our phones.
That was me last week.
Had a little trouble with this one. Anyway, who takes their phone to bed? Why do you take your phone to bed? Because you might miss that important text at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, what my daughter tells me is she uses that as an alarm. I'm like, okay. 50% of Americans sleep with their text phones next to them like a teddy bear, and this number includes more than 80% of 18 to 24-year-olds. But are we more or less connected? Are you one of the many people who have become obsessive or addicted to your smartphone? Is it an addiction or an obsession? Are you a smartphone junkie who is checking his or her phone every 5 minutes? What's an addiction? Being abnormally tolerant to and dependent on something that is psychologically or physically habit-forming. According to Time Magazine Techland International Survey of 5,000 Americans, Britons, South Koreans, Chinese, Indians, South Africans, Indonesians, and Brazilians, you're just like everyone else in the world. You simply can't leave that phone alone. You are not doing it because it's vibrating or you're getting a call, but simply it's involuntary movement like breathing or swallowing. You are doing it repeatedly, over and over, constantly checking that smartphone. Anybody in here doing that? It's on the back of your mind constantly. We are checking our smartphones compulsively for email, calendars, Twitters, Facebook, and searching the internet, but we are not alone. According to a 2012 survey by Pew Research Center, 46% of all American adults now own a smartphone. This is up 25% from last year. In a recently published report in the journal, Personal and Ubiquitous Computing, studies are already accounting smartphones used with driving, accidents, and poor work-life balance. A lot of people in here, I'm sure you text while you drive, right? How many of you do that? It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. People don't realize it, but you're jeopardizing your own life. I just talked to a lady the other day. She said, oh, I was in a car wreck. I said, you were? She said, yeah, I was making a turn, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes somebody 55 miles an hour, ran right into me. They were text messaging. They weren't paying attention. You can't pay attention to driving while you're texting on your phone. It's proven. We're losing face-to-face communication. In the United States, over 14 billion text messages were sent in 2000 and 188 billion in 2012. When are we looking out and seeing what's going on in the real world? We're just looking at our phones constantly. I'm in there too, but we're missing what's going on in the real world. A device most of our parents never had has become a lifeline we can't do without, not for a day, not for even an hour. Also in a Times poll, 1 in 4 people check their phones every 30 minutes, and 1 in 5 people check it every 10 minutes. 30% admitted to be anxious without it, even for short periods. If forced to choose, twice as many people would pick their phone over lunch, just for the constant feel to be connected. Also, the Times survey showed 84% could not go a single day without their cell phone. I asked my daughter the other day, could you go without your cell phone? She said, well, yeah, and I said, okay. She said, but I'd have to check it. So she couldn't go without it. Cell phones are addictive, time-consuming, and killing genuine communication. 1 interaction, 2 thumbs at a time. Basically, I just want you to know that you're addicted to your smartphone, your cell phone. It's proven. You know, we all are. I'm that way too. And we really need to wake up and look around us and see what everybody else is doing, because you're so engaged in your phone. So text messaging and smartphone use has impacted our society in various ways. Poor driving habits, a manipulated social life, and deteriorating physical health are just a few of the consequences heightened with excessive texting and obsessive smartphone use. I just read an article where people are now having neck problems from being down like this all the time. So it does affect your health. They also, you know, we have not have any proven thing that they're not causing brain cancer. We don't know that, you know. So keeping them up to your head all the time is bad. So maybe the texting is a little better. Anyway, as we become more and more engaged, we need to ask ourselves, how much is too much texting or smartphone uses or being connected to social media? When it's distracting our regular day-to-day activities, then do we know we are over our limits? In my opinion, when something starts controlling your life physically and mentally, controlling all your moves, and you know it's gone too far. Maybe we all need to slow down, listen to the real birds tweeting, and wake up by the smell of coffee. Not be like this family here.
All right, questions for Valerie?
Could you go without your phone for a day?
I'm sorry?
Could you go without your phone for a day?
Yeah, I probably could.
Oh, I know I could.
I couldn't.
This is
You
the
have,
department,
it dies and you forget
this is
those.
a department phone, and I